Hey guys, it's Heather. Today we're going to be doing a chatty get ready with me. I'm actually filming in my bathroom today. I actually like this setup. I have natural sunlight in the front and then in the side, so I hope that the lighting is okay. But I just kind of wanted to sit down, do some makeup. I've been feeling better when I put makeup on. It just makes me feel more normal and more productive for some reason. So I figured we can just kind of sit down, do our makeup together. And for those of you who are new here, my name is Heather. I do all types of videos on like beauty, organization, lifestyle, anything like that. So I hope you guys will subscribe and stick around. So I already put some moisturizer on my face. I started using retinol again, and I've been using it like once a week, and my skin is getting very dry, so I've been using a lot of moisturizer. And I've also been using Aqua like under my eyes. And I feel like it's just doing a really good job of just keeping my under eye nice and hydrated and moisturized. And I like the way that it's looking. I feel like when you first start using retinol, I feel like it gets worse before it gets better, if that makes sense. So today I'm gonna be mixing two shades from Wet n Wild. This is the new Dewy Photo Focus Foundation. I have Shell Ivory and Soft Beige, so I'm gonna mix these two together. Normally, I like the way that they blend with a sponge, but today I'm going to use a brush, and I'm going to try to see if I can get it to work like that. So finally, we have a decent weekend day here. I'm in New Jersey, and the weather's been very, just kind of gloomy. We've probably gotten, maybe 2 decent days a week where you could, go outside and walk. But all parks and things are closed around here, so it's been difficult to kind of get out, except for walking in your neighborhood or whatever. We're just trying to do as much as we can to just keep things going and positive, and because it's been really tough, and I mean, even as adults it's been tough, so just imagine how hard it is on all of our kids. So we've just been trying to keep it as fun, and I'm trying to keep super patient. It's been really hard some days, but I keep on trying to remind myself that okay, it's so difficult for me, just imagine how difficult it is on the kids. And I have a 5-year-old and a 5-month-old, and obviously the 5-month-old doesn't know any different. He's just always happy. But for my 5-year-old, she's used to being at school, she's used to being at gymnastics. She's definitely been acting out a lot more. She's bored. It's been difficult because my husband and I are both trying to work from home while we have the kids here. So we're just trying our best to switch on and off and stay positive and upbeat, because they're gonna mirror what you do. And then we've also implemented a reward system and behavioral chart. So different things that she does, she can earn points towards, but then she can also lose points. So if she does her schoolwork or any extra math or reading, she'll earn points. If she helps us with chores, she'll earn points. Just stuff like that, but then she can also lose points. So if there's something that she wants, like a new toy, she can earn points in order to get that toy. So I think that's been really kind of working and keeping her accountable for her behavior, because I feel like all kids, they act so much better when they're at school than they do when they're at home. So I'm definitely having some difficulty blending this with the brush, and I think largely this is due to the start of the retinol. My skin is just peeling, so there's really nothing I can do about that. So moving on for concealer, I'm trying to finish up the concealers that I had before opening anything new. I'm just gonna mix in these two Tape Shape shades. And if you can hear the birds chirping through the window, that sound instantly makes me happier. And I'm just gonna mix in a little bit of this darker shade because that's way too light. So what have you guys been doing to keep busy? Have you been watching a bunch of shows? I feel like we've watched everything there is to watch on Netflix, any of the good recommendation shows. We just finished Waco. I wasn't a huge fan of the ending. I think it's actually based on a true story, but the ending is very depressing. We also watched Ozark, Unorthodox. What else was really good? 7 Seconds, The Killing, The Fall. I like more of thriller type shows, a little bit of a breakout going on my chin. I think it has a lot to do with the retinol. I'm just gonna cover up some of these darker areas, but if you guys have any show recommendations, let me know down below. We're always looking for something new to binge. So besides watching shows and trying to get outside and walk as much as possible, we've just been taking drives. It's been very difficult to get like baby wipes, even like the formula that I normally buy. It was difficult to get. I had to actually switch to a different formula. Toilet paper is really hard to get still. So for powder, I was gonna use this IT Cosmetics Illumination powder, but I feel like my face is looking a little too dewy, so I think I'm gonna skip on this and just use a regular setting powder. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Set and Smooth. This is a really nice, affordable powder. So I've been trying to walk a lot. I haven't been walking as much as I'd like. Like I was doing really well for a while, and then the past like week and a half, I've just been kind of not motivated to do much. I was doing a lot of like YouTube workouts, like MadFit. I love all of her workouts. If you have not heard of her, I will put her channel up on the screen here. It is awesome. So easy to just get like a quick like 3 or 4 minute workout in to a song, and it doesn't even feel like you're working out, you're just having fun, and she just gets right to it. Like she's not talking a lot, and she's all different types of workouts. If you have bad knees, or if you live in an apartment and you can't do like loud banging and jumping around, definitely check out her workouts. I promise you, you will love, love, love her stuff. I also like Blogilates. She's good content. And I like to dance, so I like to do the Fitness Marshall. My goal is to lose another 15 pounds or so. And this is just the Hoola Bronzer to go in with like a light hand here because I'm super pale and I feel like this, see, it comes out super pigmented. But I would like to lose another 15 pounds. So that is my goal. With this pregnancy, I did IVF, so it's been a whole different ball game with my daughter. It was a natural pregnancy. I gained maybe like 30 pounds or so, lost the weight right away, had no problems. This pregnancy, I gained 20 pounds or so before I was even pregnant with my son. Largely, I think that was due to the hormones that I had to go on. I didn't start noticing weight gain until I was using the estrogen and progesterone after they did the embryo transfer. It was just something that was really hard to avoid for me. I think it's like pretty standard. People normally gain like 10 pounds or so, but it was definitely a lot on me, not only physically, but mentally. So start to finish with this pregnancy, I think it was like 65 pounds that I gained. It's a lot for my frame. So right away after I had him via C-section. I had tons of fluid again this pregnancy. It's called polyhydramnios. I had it with my daughter, so I ended up having to have her 3 weeks early. And then with my son, I had him a week early via C-section. And when I found out I was pregnant with him, they also told me I had hypothyroidism. So I had to go on Synthroid, and I'm still on Synthroid. So I'm wondering, is there a direct correlation between that and how your thyroid functions? Because I've been doing a lot of research and I've talked to other people that have also developed thyroid issues from doing multiple rounds of IVF. So it's just interesting to me. But I'm just trying to give myself time because 65 pounds is a lot. So, but I will get there. I definitely am not trying as hard as I should be. I definitely don't diet or eat clean by any means. So for blush, I'm going to use this little E.l.f. Aqua blush. It's actually a cream blush. It's really nice. So if you are going through IVF, I completely understand the struggles, how it takes a toll on your body. I have a couple of videos that I've done on IVF that I'll link down below. I had some complications with it, but it's all worth it in the end. My baby is happy and healthy, and that's all that matters, and I would do it over, so. And this is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Highlight in the shade Wisp. I love this highlight. It is definitely like a wet, creamy highlight, but it is really pretty, and I feel like it's really natural looking. I'm actually gonna put a little bit down the center of my nose. That's what I normally do, and I just forgot. Just kind of tap it on there. And it's also like a really pretty lid shade. I'm just gonna powder on my eyes a little bit more before I put some eyeshadow down. So for eyeshadow, I'm gonna use the Modern Renaissance palette, but I wanna use some colors that I never really use. So this shade down here, I really wanna use. For the lid and the crease, I'm gonna start with this burnt orange shade. So postpartum, I'm feeling really good. I'm now 5 months. Aside from, the weight struggles, it's not really a big deal at all. Mentally, I'm feeling really, really good this time. With my daughter, I had really bad postpartum anxiety, and I was terrified this time around. Like I knew going into it that it might happen again, that it would probably happen again, but it didn't. So if you are going through that, I totally understand. It is not easy, but it will get better. It's definitely worth it to reach out to the people who love you, and you know, people want to help. So for me, I was just open and honest about it right away, like as soon as I was having any type of feelings, and I was able to get the help I needed. And my husband and my mother were super supportive, so I was very lucky. But there's tons of support groups online. There's a bunch of different things you can do. People understand you're not alone. It's just a lot of people, I feel like they don't talk about it, or they should feel ashamed or something. Like, you shouldn't feel ashamed. There's so many people that are struggling, and you don't have to be perfect. And just because it happened to you this pregnancy, it doesn't mean that it's gonna happen again. Especially if you get like the right help and the right treatment and you have your support system in place, I think that the odds will be definitely in your favor that it won't happen again. So I'm just smoking a little bit of this under the eye as well. Normally I don't do it with such a big brush, but it's alright if it's a little bit messy today. So now I'm going in with a smaller, more precise brush. I'm gonna go in with this really pretty orange shade right here. And I'm just gonna focus that like in the crease area and like the outer V. Just doing the same thing on the other lid here. I feel like it's blending a little bit patchy. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I feel like this is definitely gonna take some more blending than it normally does. So on the lid, I'm gonna take the shade Primavera. I think that'll look pretty on the lid. So what other postpartum updates do I have? Let me think. So the baby's been sleeping really good. I would say that he's been sleeping throughout the night since he was like a couple months old, maybe like 3 months old. In the beginning, he woke up like twice a night. So my husband would typically do the first feeding, and then I would do the second one. So we did shifts, which worked out really nice, so that we each got like a solid, 5 or 6 hour clip of sleep, depending on how we timed it. I don't feel like I had that survival mode sleep deprivation that I did with my first. Like, I was definitely really tired, but I just don't remember it being like as bad. Maybe he was just like a better sleeper. My daughter was very colicky, and he definitely is not that way at all. He's just like a really, really good chill baby. Just kind of goes with the flow. As long as he's fed and his diaper's changed, he's happy. So I think I'm gonna take a little bit of this shade right here and put it under the brow bone. Just kind of soften that up a bit. So like I said before, I did have a C-section with him. My daughter was a natural birth, and I will say that people always ask, oh, which one was worse? They're completely different. You can't even compare them. One is surgery. The recovery from the C-section is obviously, it's a lot longer, which makes it harder. Like, you can't like sit up. I don't think that I was doing like any ab workouts until like I just kind of listened to my body and took it slow, but I don't think that I could actually do like a sit-up until I was like 4 months maybe postpartum. Even now, like, I still have certain pains in my stomach that I don't know, like, okay, will this ever go away? But the thing for me that was really rough about the C-section is that they numb you from like, it's supposed to be from like the chest down, but for me, I felt like the anesthesia went so high to the fact where I was questioning whether or not I was able to breathe, because you can't feel your diaphragm like going up and down. So what the anesthesiologist did was he took like a little alcohol swab and he was like rubbing it on me, and he's like, can you feel that? I was like, yeah. He's like, so you can breathe? And of course I could breathe because I could talk, but like mentally, because you can't feel yourself and your chest going up and down, you start freaking out like that you can't breathe. But I did ask him, because I was always nervous, like, what if I get numb, like, all the way up to, like, my head or something? He's like, I would know, you would look at me, you wouldn't be able to, talk or communicate. He's like, and I would put you under. So don't even worry about that. But I'm just an anxious person by nature. I just did not like the feeling of being, like, completely awake in my mind, but the rest of my body was completely numb. that did not sit well with me. I did not like that feeling at all, and there's nothing that you can do because unless it's an emergency situation, they're not gonna put you under. That's not healthy for your baby. If they put you to sleep, that's gonna have effects on your baby. It's gonna put your baby to sleep. So you just kind of have to stick it out. I think the baby was out of me in like 15 minutes. It was more so just putting back together that took longer. I think the whole thing was maybe like 45 minutes. But once they took the baby out, I was freaking out. I was like, my arms were thrashing and everything. So he ended up just giving me some propofol or something, just kind of putting me out because at that point I was hazardous to the surgery with the way I was acting and I could not calm myself down. So it was in my best interest that he just give me something to calm me down once the cord was cut. And then not only that, after the anesthesia starts to wear off, I got like very itchy. I was itching my nose so much to the point where it was like bleeding. Also, some people get like these intense pains in their shoulder and they didn't warn me about that first. So I thought I was having a heart attack. It would have been nice for someone to say like, okay, you might experience this or you might experience that. I think that if they said to me, okay, this is probably how you're gonna feel, just so you know, that's okay, that's normal, I probably would have been able to talk myself off the ledge a little bit, if that makes sense. But it's over and I got through it. I feel like this one eye is just so patchy in here. It's like just not blending. All right, I'm gonna clean up these eyebrows before I do mascara. So this is the LA Girl Brow Pencil. I definitely like the CoverGirl one if you're looking for like drugstore price, a little bit better than this one. It's just a shade match for me. I think this one is, what color? Brunette. I mean, it's not terrible, but I just feel like it's a little like warmer than my natural brow. My natural brow is like a little bit more cool toned and ashy, but I make it work. I'm trying to grow them out a little bit. I have tons of like little sparse hairs in there, so I basically just try to fill them in a little bit. And I think I'm gonna go over this. I've been liking using a brow powder to go over it, just to make them look a little bit more full. I've been using the Brow Gal, and I mix these two shades together because I feel like the one shade is just a little bit too dark. And I just kind of wedge it in there like this. I just feel like it gives it like a little bit more fullness. And it comes with like this little brush, and then it has the spoolie on the one side. So what else? I feel like I'm all over the place with this video. So we've been working on redoing our master bedroom for like over 2 months, maybe 3 months now. And it's just because I don't want to just spend money on something that I don't absolutely love. So we got the furniture, which I really love the dressers. We got the carpet, we did painting, we did some wallpaper. I just haven't been able to find like the throw pillows that I really like that match. And I'm kind of on the fence about a mirror and some other wall decor. So once I have that done, I will share it. But I will say it's been nice to get some home projects done and, you know, just spend more quality time together. It just makes you grateful for what you have when you can't go out and see family, or there's people that are working that can't see their kids because they don't want to put their kids in harm's way because maybe, you know, they're nurses or doctors. And then there's a lot of other people who are out work completely right now. So I think this time has taught us all to be grateful for what we have. I'm gonna use a little bit of the Gimme Brow by Benefit. What I need is a really good clear brow gel, like drugstore price, nothing crazy expensive, because I just want something that's clear. I don't want anything that's tinted. So if you guys have any good recommendations, let me know down below in the comments. So for mascara today, I'm gonna be using the CoverGirl Lash Blast, which is a really good, affordable drugstore mascara. It's my second favorite, I would say. I really like the Lash Paradise, but I feel like I have so many different mascaras. Some of them are open, some of them are half gone. I'm trying to use up a tube before I go ahead and move on to another one. I'm really just trying to get through the makeup that I have. Just do like kind of like a first in, first out. And I've done like other project pan videos and stuff. I didn't do one for this year, and it was only because last year when I did it, I kind of felt restricted. And instead of just picking like 19 products, I would rather do like a first in, first out kind of a thing. So my mindset now is kind of more like, all right, I can't get a lip gloss until I use up what I have. So until something gets used up or decluttered, then I can go out and get another one. that's like in that shade range or something like that. So that's been working more for me. Like I haven't found that I'm spending a ridiculous amount of money on makeup. I don't feel like I get persuaded so easily anymore to buy something. I've been trying to really look in my collection and see if I have anything that's like a dupe for maybe something that another YouTuber or someone says that they really like. And I'll kind of just like put it down in a notebook and sleep on it before I'll go ahead and spend the money on it. Or like a lot of times stuff that you like will go on sale. So for me, I've just been kind of like writing down a running list of like things that I would really like to try. And then like by the time I'm like, okay, well, you know, I think that I could go ahead and purchase a new foundation or give something else a try because I just used up the one that I had. I'll look at that foundation and I'll be like, I don't really want that anymore anyway. So I think a lot of it is just write it down now, and if you still want it in like 6 months or a few months or whenever you finish up another product like in that same category, then okay, go out and buy it. And I don't know if you can see, but like my fine lines under my eyes are always worse a couple days after I use retinol. And one thing that you guys know I love to do is combine mascaras. So this is the Lash Princess. Which one is this? This is the Sculpted volume. I always use like 2 different mascaras at a time because I feel like one will be really good at like bulking the lashes, but maybe not as good as like lengthening or separating any clumps. So I'll try to use like one that's, you know, better at bulking or giving a lot of volume, and then I'll use another one that's good at like lengthening and separating. So for the lips, I've been loving this combination. This is the Milani Easy Liner in Most Natural. I'm not sure if they make this anymore. Typically when I buy it, I get it off Amazon. I think they may have another type of liner by Milani that's similar. I'm not sure. I saw some stuff on Target. I don't know if like they just repackaged it or what the deal is, but I really like this one. It's really easy to line your lips. It's like a perfect color to complement like a nude eye. I feel like I can't talk while I do this, otherwise I'll get it all over my face like a clown. So I'm just lining it just slightly over my natural lip line. Just kind of following like the top of it. And it's very creamy and moisturizing. So now on top of that, I go in with the NudeStix. This is in the shade Whisper. It is like a lip and cheek pencil. I would say it's like a very moisturizing, creamy type of a formula. And I just love the way it looks over top of that nude color. I won't take it all the way to the edge of my lip because I like to have kind of like an ombre effect there. And then on top of that, I'm going to use the Dose of Colors. This stuff smells good. It's a lip gloss in the shade On Repeat, and I just kind of put that in the center. I just think it's such a pretty nude combination. And I'm just going to set all that down. This is the all-nighter. And I've just been buying like travel sizes of setting sprays. I've been trying to anyway, just because I don't use them enough. Like I'm not doing a full face of makeup every day. So they end up going bad. Like there's a lot of makeup that I wish that they just sold a travel size in, because it's nice to just try things. Sometimes it's just easier to go through a little travel size and it's gonna last you like a really long time, like a blush or a highlight. So I definitely do like to pick up travel sizes when I can. So this is the final look. And another thing I wanted to ask you guys, let me know down below if you have any recommendations on different topics or content that you would like me to cover. I'd be more than happy to do some of the things that you guys actually want me to do. So definitely leave me your suggestions and recommendations down below. And I know a lot of you are watching and you haven't subscribed. So definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell so you see when I post new uploads, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.